Good morning. Good morning, people.
Hello.
We are live. How is everybody doing?
How is everyone today? Did we survive Trump? Did we survive our Uncle Donald?
The markets are looking unique today, Chento. I think that's safe to say. There's been some craziness. Pumping,
Listen,
retracing.
everyone has a crazy uncle or crazy grandpa, you know? But I never expected that the crazy uncle or the crazy grandpa would be the one calling the shots in one of the most powerful countries in the world. So that it's rather interesting. So yeah, the markets are looking fairly unique. But we're doing the same pattern in a different range. And I have to say, Thursday is absolutely notorious for going down. Historically, Thursday is the worst performing day in all of crypto, to be honest.
Okay. And your indicator today is 83% down, is that right?
Yes, and that's quite high.
That's very
First
high.
of all, good morning, everyone. How are you guys feeling? Are we feeling long? Are we feeling short? Let me know in the chat. How are we feeling? How are we doing? Morning, all. Morning, Luke.
Has anyone made any money in the last few days? Anyone in the chat placed any banger trades? Let us know. It's been a unique time.
Bearish. Good morning. Good morning, Rod. Feeling bearish. Chento, do we keep our limit long? Yes. Both is in place, Connor. I'm gonna hedge it. I'm far from broke, but I need to crush this market this year. I feel you, man. Tired of this shit. Listen, guys, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get a lot worse than we are seeing currently. That's what I'm afraid of. Trust me.
Worse in what sense?
Bro, this is just... Normally, this is just the beginning, and we haven't bottomed yet. Remember during Christmas when I was doing the 1K to 100K challenge?
Mm-hmm.
The Great Wall of 88, that they wouldn't break through 88K, and it just kept on effing around for 5-6 days. It can get a lot more boring, like we've seen during Christmas. And I think we're not at the stage yet where the market is actually showing its ferociousness and is actually doing everything it can in its power.
So you think we might be bouncing for a little while?
No, not per se bouncing. I think it's going to be even more boring.
Okay.
I trade based on trends in orca food abundance indicators. Yeah, I tried that for a while. It's amazing. I have no clue what you just said.
For those who are curious about where we're at with the challenge, we're in a similar spot to where we were a couple days ago. We're at 14,500, I believe, or 14,800, something like that, because I've got 10,600 here in the account, and we withdrew 4,000 as an insurance policy. So yeah, we're around about just under 15k at the moment. So we've effectively hit a 3x on the account, which is pretty baller, I will say. Chento's really showed his cards lately with some good use of not trading in tumultuous times and really sitting on the hands. And when we do enter, as of now, we've been killing it. So hopefully we can keep that up.
Yeah. So we did a 3x in 2 weeks of trading. It's it feels underperforming for me, but it's still a great result. So
it's an extremely good result.
We're gonna keep it at, right?
Especially amongst all of the BS that we've been dealing with at the moment. Everyone in here knows it's just crazy. Honestly, crazy is the best way to describe it. I think that whatever time of the day it is, whatever tweets are being sent out is completely changing everything. And yeah, the fact that we're up in this times and up the substantial amount that we are is a huge win. So congrats to Chento for this so far. And hopefully we can still hit the 50k goal. I think we can. We just need a couple days.
Yeah, I think so too. So let me pull up FlowX here. For the people that don't know and the people that are new here, 𝗓𝗏𝑥 is the platform that we from ScalpX are developing ourselves and will be free available for the community. Community link is pinned. But yeah, I'll do the whole announcement as soon as more people are in, and then we only have to do it once. They're still liquidating at the highs. There's not much liquidations happening as of now. It's pretty tame. The 24-hour cooldown slightly as well. Only thing that I'm seeing is that it's a typical London session, and it seems to be grinding in an outwards direction. As you can see before the breakout as well, it was forming, and I've called out this pattern quite a lot. It's sort of grinding up, and that's what the algorithm now is very sensitive for. Look, this is all just low, high, higher, higher compression, but the lows keep on going down, and then of course it ends with a breakout. And it's making this every time. It's not about making higher highs, it's higher lows. And then they're compressing in, violent shift out. They do it time after time after time after time. Look, it's a 0.7% move only, but it's check. Exact same pattern. And shift out.
So you had a long order set right below that and you missed it by a few dollars.
Look,
that's unfortunate.
Same pattern. See, the highs are not per se getting a lot higher, but the lows are shift out. It's playbook market making right now. And if it's grinding down, it's the same shit. Look, shift out again. Look, here again. Shift out. It's shift out. Shift out.
So when you say grinding up, is there a particular pattern that is the grinding itself? Is it the
no, it's
small
new
ranging?
And that's the thing. It's an algorithmic update. And it's something I started to see recently as well. Like, listen guys, the algorithms update constantly. Why? Because market makers need to make money and everything. How the fudge are we supposed to see the chart? It's pretty big on the middle of the goddamn screen.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. It's pretty, I'm looking at it here. It's pretty clear on my end at least.
Yeah. So it makes it seem sideways, but in the sideways movement, it looks to be grinding up slightly. And then again, and I've said this before as well, there are a couple of Tau signs, you know. One is grinding up, higher lows. That is the first Tau sign that the market now gives you for the direction. Second Tau sign that is a pretty obvious one, red wick at the highs. Look, almost every point that has an exponential move up will have an exponential move down. Red candle at the highs. Red candle at the high. This one didn't, but it still had an exponential move. Where the other highs, this is mid-range. Red candle at the high. Red candle at the high. Red candle at the high.
So if you're looking for shorts, will you wait
red
for that
candle at
red
the high.
candle
Red
at the
candle
high?
at the high. Red candle at the high is probably one of the best Tau signs of a reversal. Red candle at the high, red candle at the high.
And does the time
So
frame matter?
almost
Or
every
you're looking at the
real
5
high
minute?
out of an exponential move, red candle at the high. Every exponential move that BTC gives will end with a red candle at the highs.
On the 5 minute time frame?
Chain. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. And so we obviously haven't seen that yet in this move right now.
Yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm writing out what I see that has now happened and has changed in the market making algorithms. Second attempt at bottom. All the bottoms and everything that we has formed given a second chance and then didn't break through. Slightly lower. Trying to bottom, shifting out, bottoming again, still not taking the level. Second attempt at the bottom. First attempt trying to shift out, second attempt shift out. Perfect double, perfect double, perfect double. You see? Liquidation, impulse move, shifting out, rejecting, impulse move again, slightly deeper, shift out. Impulse move up, retrace, impulse move, retrace, second bottom, shifting out. Attempt, shifting out slowly, attempt, shifting out. Second entries. Everything we do right now is a second tap to find an entry. So second attempt up the bottom before actual move out. What's the reasoning behind
always
this?
looking for the confirmation.
What's the reasoning behind this and why is the market doing it? Trapping more orders, less people taking profit. More traps, both sides. That's the reasoning why they're doing this in the current market making right now. Fourth, front running liquidity. Order blocks stopped working. Higher imbalance rate.
What do you mean in that third point when you're saying less people taking profit? What does that have to do with this, with it tapping twice?
They're trapping more people by having an exponential move in, exponential move out. People will get scared out of their position. And by going back down again, people let profit rise on the table, you know? So if you would have taken this move down and you would be here and you would be like, oh, fuck, you know, it immediately pumps back up. So you miss this profit. So the likelihood of you closing here, being afraid that it pumps again, is pretty high before the market shows its real move and its real hand down here. So they trap the longs up here. The shorts have already been closed. And then they trap the longs even more. And then they trap new shorts. By this pattern, they get more influx of money. And you can even see it happening as well in the liquidation chart. The amount of inflow of Bitcoin itself and the amount of inflow of the actual orders is less, but the amount of liquidations is higher. So they're actually doing a great job with the current algorithmic programming. Look, same
here. It sounds
here.
like they're just making it more confusing
shift,
for everyone.
Rejection, shift. As long as I'm not seeing a red candle at this high, I'm not shorting it. One thing we're going to do, Baxter, is we're shorting it at 71.7.
Should we set an order for that then?
Yes, 71.7.
Should we go in with, what do you think?
What? 71.725, 50%. 50%, 50x.
All right, cool.
Then we're going to have a stop loss above the high, so 72.1, 72.2. But it's going to be manual. It's already going, so I would slightly hurry up.
All right, 71.7, 50x off the account.
Yes.
All right, we've got it. All right, people, we got a order. Bring that up so you can see
I will
that.
put it on the screen as well.
Yeah, I've got it. Just under your chart as well, as people can see the order price. Sweet. All right. Well, hopefully this definitely looks like it could get there. We're not far away. So let's hope we hit it and we get some action going. What's
Then where you DCA the shorts from Discord, you can see it in the screenshot, my friend. Literally, it's in the screenshot. Long or short, bro, read the chart. And if you can't figure it out by yourself, please refrain from trading.
You're choosing 71.7 because it's your famous dual block. That's correct. It just seems to be tapping
there. Yes, and it held a couple of times. I want to see it tap.
Okay, cool. All right, well, let's hope we get there, but not far, $200 away.
Bro, we missed this one again on $70. It's so annoying. $70, and it's a $1,300 move. So that would have been 2%. That would have been 100% profit.
Yep. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Is there any liquidity at 71.7 that they think they're going to try and grab? Is that in the question for you now with this trade? Like, are you looking at the liquidity?
Yes. It's quite a bit stacked there.
Okay.
Look. They're hunting this anyways.
me as a beginner, I would see that liquidity area there and think that this is the entry because it's just grabbed that. And so there's a fair gap to that next block. That's what I would
They might, but then they would
see.
front run us again. It's possible, don't get me wrong. They grabbed it. How much is it? It's 2 million.
And a question that I've seen some people saying, and I think is a valid one, is when we seem to be getting so close to these orders, is there a realm in which we should enter with smaller position sizes up until the order? Like, for example, in this case, we would enter with less now, just so we at least have some skin in the game without reducing the entry too much.
I would normally do that if we were trading with the two of us and not with 400 people watching. The chat will become a mayhem. Because everyone gets a spread, everyone gets a different order, and it will become absolutely unmanageable for us. Because I can tell you press now, do this, do that, yada, yada, yada. But if people in the comments are already asking, is it long or short? Then you can tell me what are the chances that everyone's going to follow. Max, you can say that chat is not my concern, but if something goes wrong, chat is the one that will actually go to Twitter and call me out and be an absolute bitch to me, even though I couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I still feel obligated to protect other people's capital as well, not just my own.
Fair enough. Valid. Yeah, the pressure of live trading is definitely very real for you.
It's not about pressure. It's about
well, pressure with reputation and so on. And
yeah, and it's also about protection and feasibility, right? I'm sitting here live trading, and it has to be trades that can be followed by, I hope, the majority of people. That's why I'm doing this live. That's why I'm teaching. That's why I'm take profit is 70.3. That's why I'm actively doing this. Otherwise, I could just remain in the shadows and trade for myself and have fun with that. No, I chose to deliberately trade publicly. I chose to do this challenge. Then the challenge has to be followable for the most amount of people as possible.
Fair enough. Well, it's looking like it's retesting now, so hopefully we get a big push up and a nice wick, get filled, and off to the races.
Yeah. Get out before New York? Oh, absolutely. Listen, it's a free for all and a mayhem right now in the market, but it's hilarious, so that's fine. Guys, we're also gonna have a Blowfin trading competition pretty soon. You guys better join my team. The link to my... Okay, let me start by the beginning. I'm Chento, for the people that don't know me. I'm the owner of ScalpX. I've been on global trading leaderboards for years, and now I finally decided to step out of the shadow. And since I make my money trading, I do everything for free. So the tool you see on the screen will pretty soon be released for everyone using my Blowfin link for free. The Discord is free and it's pinned on top of the chat. And if you have more than 50k trading port, you're more than welcome to join my inner circle, which again is free as well. So
I'm in the inner circle, and I will say it's extremely good, packed with value. Definitely, if you're in that upper bracket with the amount you're trading with, 100% worthwhile, and it's free. So definitely get in there.
And it's free. So if you guys want to trade with me, if you guys want to have free education, you want to learn again for free and be part of our amazing now $21,000 community. Or 21,000 people, not dollar, people community. The
probably
link
worth.
is
That's probably how much
there.
it's worth to join, but yeah.
Don't need to short at this level. 𝗕𝗏𝗁, that's still a choice I make by myself. But I appreciate your feedback, and I can tell you that I absolutely won't do shit with it. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk, by the way.
I've got a bad feeling that that might be the top there, 71,550.
What are the advantages? You get protection from us. You can get cash back on your fees. You get early access to the indicators. You get more indicators, and you are in a WhatsApp group with like-minded people. And next to being in a WhatsApp group with like-minded people, you also get closer contact with me and traders. What's the SL? Bro, the SL is not fixed yet. Stop, please.
That's funny. Yeah, that's smart. I really want to see this get smacked. Are you going to be taking this trade on your 𝗕𝗏𝗡 account?
Yeah, I'm DCAing.
I also have a question. You mentioned the 𝗕𝗏𝗡 trading competition. What does that look like for people who are in the Discord and in the groups and so on?
Well, it's gonna be 𝗕𝗏𝗀𝗏 versus each other. So
Can I
I'm
bet
gonna
on that?
absolutely try to annihilate it and absolutely try to win.
I think we need a poly market for that, because I'll quite literally remortgage my house and put it on Chento for that. I'm not gonna lie. Like that would be the safest. No offense to any other crypto banter host, but just Chento's trading is just another level. So all the other crypto banter hosts are much better than I am as a trader, so no hate to them. But Shento's a beast, so I see that one definitely going his way, and I would put my money where my mouth is on that. So if anyone wants to somehow create a market for that, let me know. That would be
Yeah. So it's based on
good.
volume, which I do 1 billion a month myself.
Yeah, well, your 𝗕𝗏𝗡 account's over 1 billion now in 3 weeks, so that's crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're gonna trade against the other host. We're gonna try to absolutely smash this, and it unlocks on volume and performance.
So is
we're
it
gonna
in
make a separate
performance?
channel in the Discord.
Is it performance of
P&L.
the traders in the group as well, or is it only your performance?
Yes, everyone. That's
Cool.
why you guys need to listen to me, and we need to absolutely nail this competition.
And is there a prize? What's the plus of the comp if we win?
I think there's like 300,000 prize pool.
Woo!
Yeah. So the winning team will make very, very, very good bread. And
that'll get evenly dispersed amongst the team and so on to the top.
It's
The
not
top people will
evenly
get the
spread,
most.
but I'm telling you guys now, everyone who will be in my team, I will give away the portion that I win and evenly divide it over everyone in the team. So if I would win 20k and we have 200 people, everyone gets 100. If I would win 50k, everyone gets 250. So if you're on my team, yes.
I like that. You've heard it here first, people. Chento will sacrifice his winnings for the team because he's just the GOAT. That will be fun, though. I'm looking forward.
I'm waiting on more details on when the contest is starting, Max.
I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. Oh, I hope we didn't get front run here.
Insane.
I'll be so sad.
Do we need to trade, though? Yeah, you do need. The way to join in is to use your 𝗕𝗏𝗡, right? Yes. I would join it anyways, because you can't enter yet, but it has to be via 𝗕𝗏𝗡. So make an account with my link and join the free Discord. So the trading challenge is not yet live, but 𝗕𝗏𝗡 is gonna do a trading challenge. It's gonna be absolutely amazing, and I'm absolutely gonna be in it to win it and to smack it. And oh man, I love competitions. What can I say? I'm just a competitive cunt, to be honest. I'm an absolute competitive asshole. You cannot do any game with me without being competitive. I'm the worst. Oh, I'm sorry, but it's yeah.
I'm the worst guy of all time.
Yeah, I'm so insanely competitive. It also was never fun to play games with me when I was growing up. I was so insanely competitive.
Would you cheat in Monopoly? Would you have a little stash of Monopoly cash in your back
I wouldn't
pocket?
cheat, but I would just, I would have a strategy.
Oh, this is...
I would only buy the streets that were also in like the cards, go back or go forward too. Those were all the streets that I would buy, because then the probability of someone coming to my street would be bigger.
Ah, he's thinking about the math. That's genius. That's how you know you got a child prodigy on your hands. When your kid starts equating running maths on the Monopoly squares, you know you're in for a treat.
Well, we were playing 𝗏𝗏𝗏 with some people of the office. We were playing 𝗏𝗏𝗏 with some people of the office in South Africa. And people were like, yo, you know what? It's a friendly game. And I'm like, no, I just want to win. Fuck this shit.
Did you win?
Of course.
Did you play tennis?
No, but I'm such an insanely bad loser that I I want to win, you know? If I do something, I want to be the absolute best in it. And that's just how I am. And I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Guys,
Pretty funny.
hit the like button because we're 450 beautiful people in here. We're waiting for the trade to come to us. But the likes are not really representing that, you know? That's a bit of a shame.
If you're in here, smash that like button. It's free. You don't even need to do anything. You just click the button and it helps more people see the stream. And the more people see the stream, then the more Chento will stream. So smash it, people.
Exactly.
And you're going to have to help me with mindset today because I feel like because we've missed limit orders by so few dollars so many times, watching this reverse being only around $150 before our limit, if it really does pull all the way back, I'm going to be pretty, I don't know. I feel like I'm susceptible today to feeling the FOMO hard.
You know what you should do? You put a limit long at 70,118. Then you know if it dumps that you will hit the long.
Yeah, I guess that's a good. Do you do that yourself with mindset? Will you?
Yeah, I have it. No, I have the long.
Oh, you've got that.
That's why I'm so chill. I'm in my position right now. I'm DCAing, so I'm down a whopping 2K.
How much have you got
But
in this
you can
position at the
see-
moment? Are you willing to really
I have
build that?
37 Bitcoin, so it's a baby position. So 71.9, I'm DCAing 41, then 72.6, I'm DCAing 27, and then another 41 at 72.9. And my long order is for 131 Bitcoin. You see at the equal peak at 71.18.
And so equally, if we hit this short limit, you'll be looking to close it around that long order area, obviously.
Yes,
That
probably.
would make sense. Yep. Wait. Oh, well, I just hope for the entertainment's sake we get a big pump up. But honestly, I don't have much hope right now.
Don't worry. Don't worry, be happy.
I need some mindset assistance. The thing that's frustrating is that if we had hit our limits, we would have already completed the challenge. That's the crazy part. So that's where it's like, oh, for goodness sake. But you know, that's the way it is.
Yeah. You know, if my mom had a dig, it would have been my dad.
What does that mean?
Exactly.
We can see your video screen as well, not the chart, by the way, right now. There we go. All right, well, I guess we'll sit here and have a see how this goes.
Oh man, I just dragged my window into the other window, right?
No, we can see. I can see the chart at the moment. Trading view.
No, but for myself, I completely messed it up.
Oh, okay. Oh man. Could already be up 1,000.
Yep. Hey.
Shake my head. How was your stream yesterday? Did you take anything or anything crazy, or just the same old watching? And
No, not really. It was fine. It was fine. Chento, your trades on cross are isolated. Listen, if you risk manage correctly, it doesn't really fucking matter, to be honest. So I trade in cross. Max Verstappen, yes. Okay, I want to do something. I don't know. I feel like loading up 1K and seeing if I can just 200x scalp it.
well, if you want to do that, we should do that with what we've got here, because we haven't done any scalping nonsense.
But I don't want to risk it. The thing is, for the people following the challenge, right? I want it to be controlled and I want it to be structured.
Mm.
I don't want them to go for something that is absolutely degenerate.
Okay, well, that's fair. That's fair.
Or I'll save that for this afternoon.
Do it now. Come on, people. Let's vote. Do it now. While we watch this limit, see if it smacks it, we can have some fun in here. And I think it's pretty clear disclaimer that this is not part of the challenge, and I obviously won't be taking it on this account here. So I say
Yeah,
let's do
but
it.
I'm lacking the volatility, man.
Okay. Better to do a New York Open when there's more volume.
Yeah. So I'm gonna stream New York Open on my own channel, guys. Still, if you have any questions, if you want to know anything about trading, or if the market starts moving, we're gonna absolutely do something here as well. But let me know if you have any questions, any feedback, anything you want to know about trading. Most of us are DJs anyways. I know all of you are degenerate fucking gamblers.
True that. It's fun. But no, it's not. It's not the way to do it. I've been there, though.
Yeah. So the emus won the Great Emu War. That's basically how that left. What's your own channel? It's 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙. It's pinned on the top. And my own channel is Chento Trades. Very surprisingly, of course.
I don't know where that name came from. Crazy.
No, me neither. By the way, we're gonna be our team name for the banter training competition is, and this is gonna be hilarious, the Great Australian Emus.
I like that. I feel like that's hilarious and also symbolic because there's, for one, so many freaking Australians in this chat, including myself, who put in the hours in the night shift, tune in despite it being 1 a.m, and they're the real goats. Secondly, emus, obviously, as you know, have the bulletproof wings and they will stand up to no one, which is, I think, pretty symbolic of your trading. And they're also just a goated animal. So I like that a lot. That resonates. The Australian emus. If you're not in the Australian emus in this trading competition, good luck to you. That's all I'll say.
Bro, wait, did someone just donate $2.50?
No way.
Yeah,
First
there
donation.
will be private streams for the Blowfin competition.
That's hilarious. First donation of all time.
Bro, that's the first donation I've ever gotten on a YouTube live.
That's hilarious. That's actually super cool. I'm surprised that that's the first
donation
donation you've ever
possible.
had. Because you've made so many people in this chat so much money. That's the funniest part. Shout out to 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙𝗂 for the first donation ever. You're a G. That's hilarious. Anyone got any questions in the chat? I can ask Chento some things and we can talk about some strategy while we're waiting for this limit to hit. Let us know. What's your stance right now on where CVD is sitting? Is there anything kind of pinging?
1 second.
And for those who may not know, this series, the Broke to Rich series, is going to turn into a pretty cool documentary, hopefully, because we've been filming the whole thing head to toe. And ideally, once we hit this goal, we're going to compile it all together and turn it into an absolute banger piece of content, which you can watch the entirety in one go. So thank you to everyone being here in the chat, being part of hopefully what's going to be super cool when it finishes. And yeah, if you've been following along with the challenge, although we don't recommend anyone follows because it's obviously very high risk, if you have been, hopefully you're up the same amount as us because it's been good so far. How complex is the strategy? I would say, even though it's not my strategy, I'd say it's pretty complex. One of the more complex that I've seen looking at trading influencers online. Chento looks at many things, a lot of things that lots of people don't really seem to harp on, at least that I've witnessed. So I'd say it's probably more complex than most. But in saying that, it's also quite easy to understand and follow. It's just what he's looking at is, I think, pretty complex if you were to break it down. Maybe Chento can elaborate on that a bit more when he's finished what he's doing.
Yeah, I was just explaining to someone that they're absolute morons. My apologies for that.
When he's not trading, he's sending hate online to young children on video games.
No, I'm not. No, I don't. I'm always a nice guy, you know that. But sometimes I need to explain certain messages to certain people to get a certain message across. Okay, so what were you saying?
We're
How
talking
complex
about
is the strategy? I've
yeah,
just
that's an
tuned in
interesting
the
one.
first time today. Love it so far. 𝗕𝗲𝗡, to start with the first question, how many hours of live trading? It depends on your size, your position, your trading, and your risk. I cannot fill that in. If you take the right moment and all of a sudden the market magically moves, it can be between 2 minutes and never. You know, the market is a dynamic something. And because market is a dynamic something, I cannot tell you how it will move, when it will move, and what it will do, and what will be needed for you to make the money that you're looking for it. The complexity of the strategy depends on how complex you want to make it yourself, what you're willing to invest, and what you're willing to put into it. You can make everything as complicated as possible. I try to simplify things and keep on updating. It's not about making or writing the most complex strategy, it's about making something that works. And what works for me doesn't necessarily have to work for you, right? That answers your question. The auction tour is what's the risk on every trade in this challenge? However confident I am and however I feel like it.
It's been the risk.
It's a challenge.
Has been changing a little
So
bit.
the
I
word
know
says it.
we were full porting a bit more earlier on, which is to be expected. But we've, as everyone or most people in here know, we took 4,000 off the table. We started with 5, so we've taken almost all the initial off the table as effectively an insurance fund. We can obviously put it back in if we need to DCA a position or somewhat, but we're in a good position risk wise. Where unlikely we're going to come away with anything less than what we started. And from that point, even though we're trading with less money now, we're still rarely full porting. It's obviously high percentage, but the risk is, I feel like for this challenge, still pretty reasonable. You'd expect for a 10x challenge, we'd be full porting everything. That's what before we started this, I was expecting more full ports personally. And we've still managed without them. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yes, but the market is not giving us a lot to full port at yet. And that's the biggest issue with the current market. You know?
Despite that, though, we've still been doing well, is the point I'm trying to make is...
Yeah, we are, but we could have done a lot better.
Risk. Yeah, for sure.
And that's also why I can't just always randomly kick off a challenge. That's why I chose 500k to 5 million for now. Because that's something I can scale and take my time for.
I'd love to see us pump.
It's pumping back up again.
It is. I would love to see this hit.
Me too.
I'm dealing with FOMO.
Patience is a virtue, young Padawan.
I'm drinking port, going full port. Drinking port.
That tickles my funny bone.
I have never drank port. I'm gonna actually Google what it is.
Really?
Yeah, isn't it like it's a wine, isn't it?
It's a wine.
Yeah. Fortified wine. There you go. What's your drink of choice when you decide to have a drink? I think I might have asked you this already.
Whiskey, sour, or gin tonic.
Two respectable choices.
Yeah. Bro, there's not much happening now, is there?
What do you think about my concern earlier at the fact that there's not a bunch of liquidity at 71.7 and there was a decent chunk at 550? Is that relevant in this trade? Or you still think it'll get to 700 because it's...
Look, they're filling liquidity right now. Look at here. There are 3 liquidity stacks up to 72k. So we might even choose to DCA this trade a bit.
Okay.
We'll see it when it plays out. But no, there's more than enough liquidity at these current levels.
Okay, cool.
By the way, thank you very much for the $2.50 donation. I've never seen this before, but I absolutely love the fact that someone just gave me $2.50 to ask a question. If all of you would do that from now on, that would be very much appreciated.
I think that's a good challenge
every
one day.
Yeah,
when
every time you type, just add $2.50 to it.
I think after this challenge is over and wrapped up, when we're trading on the Chento Trades account, we've got our celebratory stream and I've got streamers flying everywhere and dollar bills flying. Those who followed the challenge and those who may have made money, send through some donos to the big man. Send through some super chats. They make his day. $2.50. I think that is so hilarious. I've never seen that either.
$2.49, huh?
$2.49. Less YouTube's percentage, which is probably 85%. But yeah.
Kind of like it.
Hey guys, I can see your order, but what is your take profit? We don't have a take profit.
70.3. Take profit is.
Never mind. Excuse my French. 70.3. That would be a $5,000 trade if that happens to play out. That would be juicy. Oh, we got another $2. We got $2. We got $2 Australian come through. Thank you, Mr. Fred, you Australian goat. This is amazing. Mr. Fred,
okay,
you absolute beauty.
Let's do it like this, you know. Okay, let's do it like this, right? Everything that gets donated, I'll double it and we'll pay it to a charity.
I like that idea. That's cool.
So everyone who donates money, I'll double it and we'll give it to a charity. And also, guys, hit the like buttons. Come on, let's like this shit up.
Absolutely smash it.
178 likes, 450 people viewing. That should be at least double, man. Mr. Fred, I genuinely appreciate it, guys.
You're a G, Mr.
It's
Fred.
hilarious. It's
Mr. Fred, the Australian goat. Yo, what's that? $15 donation from Baxter Purse. Who's the guy on the bottom right? He's super good looking. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. $14.99. And that's getting doubled to charity. You are a G. Whoever that is. Damn, he's kind of good looking too in that profile picture. Shout out to him. I love the Australian love in here. We got AU dollars flying. Love it.
Bro, that's hilarious.
Oh!
Yo, what?
$70 from Cody. $70 from Cody. Cody, you're an absolute G. I see you in here all the time. W Cody, what a legend. Aussie is like peso.
Bro,
come on, brother.
Insane.
It's not that bad.
That's damn. Thank you, Cody.
Thank you, Cody, you legend. This is hilarious.
Bro, I didn't saw that one coming. I thought a couple people might throw some, some change at it, but this is actually
And Cody, we
that's
see you in here
actually
all the
goated.
time. He's
Yeah.
always tuning in and he's always leaving comments. You're a
Bro,
legend.
but if you're throwing like $70 around like that, why are you not in Inner Circle, man?
I think it's safe to say most people here, at least if they're tuning in for a long time, are probably doing pretty well if they're following the calls, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool to be a part of a community. At least I know in the Discord, like you put a poll out the other day, and the very large majority of people in there are profitable off the calls, which is sick.
So again, everyone who donates, you don't need to, but it's nice, and I will double it, and it will go to charity.
I think you should triple it.
Why?
Triple it. Oh, just because you're a G.
Not $1. Hoppa!
Yeah,
it's a
Crypto
pound.
Doc. We got a
Oh,
pound.
damn. So for the guys that missed it, I'm Chento. I've been trading for a long time in the shadows, and now picked up by Baxter as a lead trader. What I'm doing is I'm gonna help you guys learn how to trade. I'm gonna be there for you guys and with you guys developing platforms like the lovely 𝗕𝗟𝗄𝗏, our own new platform, the indicators you can see on the screen, and we're building more terminals, tracking, etc. It's gonna be absolutely free. If you want to support me, make sure to sign up with the 𝗕𝗏𝗏 link in the comments to pay the software team and everything. Join ScalpX. It's a free community, and my goal is to make this the biggest free and best trading community in the world. We're already at 21,000 members, and we're going to start a trading competition with 𝗕𝗏𝗏. And as I said before, I'm the most competitive cunt you will ever meet, so we're going to absolutely win it. And all the profit I will make in this trading competition, or all my winnings, will be divided under everyone trading under me.
I love it. That's a sick idea. Hell yeah. Love it. Crypto Doc, thank you for the pound, by the way. You legend.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I love the currencies. We got Canadian, Australian dollars, American dollars, euros. We've had all the major currencies. This is hey, South Mississippi.
Hey!
We got the USA in here. Let's go. Oh, what's R?
Hey, Brazil.
This is a global phenomenon, people. Let's go.
Bro, I don't know what I'm seeing, to be honest.
This is sick.
Hey!
You're gonna be that double up's gonna be expensive.
I don't give a flying fuck. So, guys, I'm gonna choose it now. It's gonna go to the Cancer Foundation, if everyone agrees to that.
I think that's a good choice.
Yeah, so I'm gonna double it, and I'm gonna donate it to the Cancer Foundations.
Sick idea.
And I will publicly show you guys that I did it. I might even triple it, just because all of you are so amazing.
Yeah, this is cool. This is cool, guys. Keep it coming. This is fun.
No, but I like doing AA. I like doing stuff. I like doing good stuff, you know? I like helping
it's
people.
fun.
I like being there for people. This is fun. It's completely different. It's a different token of appreciation for everything that you've been doing, you know? How do I send money? Gier, I have no idea. Get back on the previous question. Inner Circle is now 50K and 5 million volume a month.
Hugo UG, another
Hello,
familiar
buddy.
face. He's in here every
Yeah.
freaking
Bro,
stream,
Hugo
and he's a
won the
G.
giveaway. Hugo won the giveaway and afterwards joined Inner Circle. I was like, okay, cool.
That's actually pretty funny.
Hell yeah, fighting cancer right now. Almost got it beat. Crypto Jim, you're an absolute warrior. And I hope you make it out. I hope you make it out good. Please keep me updated on it. Like in the past, I even paid 2 people's cancer treatment in the Discord.
Wow, really?
1 million profits, 249 super chat. Absolutely, man. You know, this is what we do it for, right?
Yeah, let's get some
so much,
cancer
Go
donations
Ninja.
going. This is awesome. Hugo, you're a legend. Goat Ninja, let's go. This is hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely amazing, guys. I never even knew that this was a possibility, but
Neither did I. I completely
let's try
forgot.
to beat cancer with donations. Yeah. What we also could do is that. No, I have to run the math. I have to check. Maybe I give part of the 𝗕𝗏𝗏 thing, or I give part of the, if we complete the 500k to 5 million challenge, that I do like a 50k donation or something.
Ooh.
Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna give away a Rolex. I don't know when yet, but it's gonna happen pretty soon.
What? Is this a personal
Why?
personal
Because
Rolex? This is worth more if it's been on the goat's wrist.
no, not a personal one.
Okay.
Why? Because I can. Another $20. Get in there.
Oh, Hardwood Hero, and that's US dollars. That's the valuable currency that we love. Hardwood Hero, let's go.
Jeez.
We've got Hugo, Bitcoin Inverse, the Green Hornet, 𝗕𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, 𝗕𝗲𝗟𝗢𝗡𝗧𝗢, of course, that guy Baxter, that weird mother effer, Mr. Fred.
Yeah, but I heard a lot of stories that he's fucking pretty though.
𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗏𝗏𝗏. Let's go. Kaizen!
One black.
We've got 100 SEK. What is SEK?
But don't get me wrong, guys. You guys don't need to donate that.
We got DJ Mike Spinks with £10. Let's go.
What is... Who's that handsome guy called Chento? Yo, Kaizen! Yeah!
What is SEK currency? Swedish
I
krone.
think it's Swedish.
Swedish krona. Let's go. I am so blown away by the global spread of this audience. We've got people from everywhere. This is so funny. Yeah, we need some Chinese yuan in here. We need some Japanese yen. I'm sure we're
Thank you for the
missing
10
plenty of
bucks,
others.
Kaizen.
Oh, $50
$50.
bucks! $50 from 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗙. Let's go.
Iranian
This is starting
coins,
to
okay,
become
we'll take every currency, my friend.
Oh, this is so funny.
Okay, let's get back to trading.
Shout out. I'm just going to do a quick call out for all the lovely donators. We got 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 with 50. DJ Mike Spinks, Kaizen, Hardwood Hero, Goat Ninja, Hugo Carvalho, Bitcoin Inverse, the Green Hornet, 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, 𝗕𝗏𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, Mr. Fred, and 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 started the entire journey with 2.49 euros. You legend. You've started something awesome. Let's go.
I know. Listen, guys, I know for you this money means a lot. For me, it means a lot that people are actually still supporting good causes and everything. So
I think it's
yeah,
epic.
this genuinely gets me happy.
Yeah,
I
it's
really,
epic.
really fucking appreciate it from everyone, from the bottom of my heart. Like, and I
Thank
know
you guys
it's
for showing
in
your
comparison
appreciation
to what
to
I'm
Chento.
making a month, it's pennies, but it's, I don't know, it's heartwarming. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure that it gets to the Cancer Foundation. Tripled, and then let's.
Oh,
fucking go.
tripled! It's revealed.
Yeah.
He's gone triple. He's made the call.
Yeah. Yes. Unless
Shout
someone now donates 100k, then I might have to refrain from it. But
we'll see. Limit short from 71,700. That's correct.
the Green Hornet I will share it with you. Don't worry. Okay, how much?
We got another 100 Swedish krones from Kaizen. Let's go. Chento's getting glazed in these donations. God damn.
You get what you deserve, my friend. What can I say?
You are looking sharp
so trading
today.
wise. Oh, bro, I need a haircut. I need to get my beard trimmed. I need new lighting, and I need to whatever. I didn't give a flying fuck. All I want to do is make some fucking money with trading.
I agree. Can we enter something, or is that dumb?
Like, I would not enter a trade right now because it's smack that mid range.
Shout out to everyone who just donated in that chain. That was hilarious and epic. And you guys are epic. Great job. That was so funny to see. Yeah, seeing Chento laugh like that, I agree. That is hilarious. Yeah, it's good to see.
Yeah. I really appreciate it, guys.
Someone, Claudio asked SL, please. You can see in the red text on the screen there, SL is not fixed yet, so it'll come later.
If you, Claudio, it would be better if you let your dog control the mouse from now on, you know? Because I assume you're blind. Sorry, man.
Viking Collector, another familiar face with $2 Australian. Let's go. That's $6 going to the Cancer Council or whatever cancer charity Chento chooses. Let's go. Hell yeah. Thank you to all the familiar faces who tune in here every time, regardless of the donations.
Now we're in the middle.
Sorry, go.
So trading. Because
yeah,
apparently that's why we're here. We're on the bottom of the mid-range, as you can see. If we hold this range, but we had 2 exponential moves up, but I'm not seeing a red candle at the top yet. That's why I'm leaving this limit order for now. If we go close to New York, I will probably remove it. And guys, keep in mind again, the current market-making algo programming is grinding up higher lows, as we've done here. It's red wicks at the high in the 5 minutes after an exponential move up. Red wick at the high. Red wig at the high. I've just shown this already. Red wig at the high. Red wig at the high at key levels. Thirdly, second attempt at bottom before the actual move out. Markets are revisiting, which means they go to a direction, they shift out, and they go back into the same direction. They do it up and they do it down. And fourth, they're front-running liquidity and order blocks stopped working. It's a higher imbalance rate and they're more trapping. And the SL of this trade has not yet been fixed. Keep this in mind, guys. Take a screenshot, do whatever. This is what I'm seeing right now, that the algorithms are actually updated too, and are actively, you can see it actively playing out, guys. Take the alpha, red wick at the high. Look, every exponential move up that got retraced afterwards, I could tell you this would not dump yet. Why? Because it has an equal high. This one was a clear sign because the red wig is at the high. Look at all the previous pumps we had, right? This is mid-range, red wig at the high. 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 As soon as the highest point of an exponential move is red. So wait, please. For what? Look.
I have a question about that.
If the move up has red at the top, it's probably going to reverse.
The bottom of those candles, though, that red candle, wouldn't that be such a strong move, though, because it's exponential? So you've effectively missed the entry in a sense, because often those candles are pretty...
No, they keep retracing. Look, from here to here, as an example. 2.4%.
So
2.4%.
After you see a red candle, where are you looking to enter? If
at
you're
the highs.
Looking to enter a short.
At the highs. The second candle is normally the confirmation. Or, as I said before, we'll try to retest it again. Look, retest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles later. Retest yet again.
So if you see a red candle at the top, you'll look for you'll look for the retest.
I look for a slight retest, and after the retest, that's the confirmation to enter. Yes. It takes a bit of balls and manage risk, but that's what they're doing right now. That's what the algo is on. Red candle at the high. Those are lines up with the liquidations. Look, liquidations at the high. Liquidations at the high. Liquidations at the high.
Is this just the algorithm, or is this something you'd personally trade? Would you take these setups?
Yes. Why do you think I have the liquidity indicator on my chart? Liquidation at the high. You see, there's liquidations at this high. We could have taken this. But it was a green candle, so I didn't have enough confirmation yet. If I see liquidations at the top, combined with a red candle, start taking it. Any news? I don't know, buddy. Have you seen any news?
So if you go back to the previous peak that was just
230 news. Yes.
So go to
This
the
is still
previous.
green.
So not that peak, the one to the left of it.
That one.
No, even further. Like there's a dip and then the next peak over.
This.
Yeah, or the third one. So if you go down one and then down another one. Yeah, that one. So would you have entered that, or because that's not a red? Is that a red candle at the top there?
Yeah, we could have entered it because it was the dwell block and it had a liquidation, but it had lower conviction because it wasn't red yet.
Okay. Because that was a big pull down. That would have been a very good short. And it seems like that lines up with your strategy.
It also would have been an amazing long. And remember, we were hunting for the long in this one, right?
Mm.
I don't think they're going to leave this liquidity. But the problem is, if they're going to go for this liquidity, the chances of them pumping through it is pretty high. So again, if this does, I'm not, Hugo, you know me well enough that I don't look at altcoins, right? So we have to see prior to New York how this develops. Otherwise, this limit will be removed. I'm not going to leave it into New York.
Okay.
But you can see the liquidity stacking. You can see the liquidity stacking here as well. Time frames are also, I think, still semi-bullish from the top of my head. Yes, 1 minute. Everything is bullish except the dailies on the fence. Whew!
Is there anything on the FlowX that's interesting to you, like the inflow of the whales or anything like that that's piquing your curiosity?
Whales are insanely bullish. There's an 851 million positive inflow.
And what is that telling you?
It's scary.
Is that telling you that there's a lot of real buy pressure from real...
Listen, the last hour, yes, but it's not moving up. Which is weird. So we have 881 million extra inflow. On the daily, we have a minus 15 billion outflow. So the hourly is insanely bullish, yet the move that the hourly is doing is off. I'm not impressed by this move the last hour, even though it got a billion extra, you know?
What about CVD? Is anything interesting with that at the moment? Or is it just doing what it does?
It's flat. It's flat. So based on the current proposition, I would say that they're going to squeeze because of the volume influx. If they squeeze, they're going to the level. So I still stand behind this trade very well based on all the indicators and based on everything I'm seeing right now.
And in our case, we're only going in with around 30% of the port. So we've got some room to DCA if that was something you'd be interested in doing as well on that trade.
No volume pump again. Listen, guys, this is such a powerful tool to have and get so much better understanding of the market. And not to sell myself, but it's going to be absolutely free for people in the Discord. Because all you have to do is use our link. It's not costing you anything extra. We can develop more tools. We can keep building. I would strongly advise just to do it. There's literally no downside for you guys.
If you're not in the Discord as well, not to mention the software, the Discord is full of value. Like Chento's sending messages and announcements and his personal trades into the Discord all day. So definitely get in there. And as someone in the inner circle as well, that's another level. Because if you've got that extra capital and a bit more of a serious trader, there's some serious alpha in there as well. The free one's got a ton, but the inner circle as well is...
Inner circle is also free, by the way, yeah?
It is. By the way, we're looking at a black screen on your end right now.
How?
All right, we're back. This duo is unmatched. Thank you.
Yeah, he's lying.
Yeah, I think he's only referring to me.
Yeah. Must be.
Oh, I'm feeling that itch. Feeling that itch for a trade. Got the gambler mindset. Nah, this duo is fire. See, we've got some agreeers in here. Let's go. My short hit entry 71,430. Interesting. Hopefully that goes well for you.
You guys have some kahunas, huh?
I know you're DCAing on that personal blowfin. So what prompted
Yes.
you to enter a short at all on the blowfin instead of waiting for this level that we're approaching?
The consolidation that is giving right now.
Consolidating under the
But the
12
thing
block?
is, yeah, but the thing is, you have to keep in mind, I'm trading on 10x, my friend.
Mm.
You cannot recreate the shit that I'm doing with a 50x account because, listen, the pressure for you that we should make profit is higher. So we need to have a type of setups because we need to hammer it. It has to be instant, it has to be good, and it has to be completely planned out. With 5 or 10x that I'm trading on, with the capital to DCA, it's a different game. I have a liquidation price right now of 124k. Bro, they can come at me.
𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙𝗂𝗍 is in this chat almost every time saying that Bitcoin's got a free ride to 125k, so you never know. You could be doomed with that lick
Bro,
price.
if he's right, I'll give him 100k.
𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙𝗍, our favorite. I have the best clip of 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙𝗍 spamming in this chat and you saying, "Hey 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙𝗍, do me a favor, shut the fuck up."
Yeah. That sounds like me, to be honest.
Oh, too good.
Don't read the town. Everyone knows about it.
Is the news of the last few days influencing your trades as of now? Anything changing for you? Obviously, the ceasefires come through, and it seems to be at this point being.
Nah, listen, if ceasefires would actually be that big of a deal, they would have pumped it to 85k. The market still doesn't give a flying fuck, to be honest. All it does right now is still hunt for liquidity. We've seen it, right? We've seen it hunt for liquidity. It went up, it's coming down again, and now it's in a mid-range. All they did is move the range from 67 to 71.
You always preach about how spot move is the real move. On this pump we had from 67 to 71, was that all spot driven? Like, would you consider that a true move, or is there a lot of manipulation in there?
I'm telling you, that spot is still down.
Yeah, so spot's that blue line. I'm going to bring your chart up just to image people. So it's that thin blue line above the volume candles there. So that overall is downtrending, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
And based on what you've said to me, that would lead me to believe that the pump is not a true pump. Is that correct?
Listen. 80% of crypto Twitter is trading against me right now and turn bullish. I was there before them and I will be there after them. They can fight me in the trenches, they can fight me on the leaderboards, and they can fight me on the charts. But I'm telling you that yet again, this move is falsified. We might go to 73, we might go to 74, but this move is absolutely falsified. There's no rectification, there's no structural change, there's no fundamental change in everything. Oil is still going up, inflation is still through the roof, there's still a lot of issues on global political level. This move is not sustainable. There is no breaking change in why Bitcoin should go up, as that everyone is saying. ETF influx is not there. There might be a news-driven, perps-driven squeeze to liquidate some more money. But I'm telling you, we haven't bottomed. I'm telling you, we're going lower. I'm telling you that based on what I've seen and based on everything I have done throughout the years, we're not there yet. Ceasefire will be broken. The orange pumpkin man will do something crazy again. We're not out of the woods. And people can go differently, but I'm not buying it.
Yeah, it's an interesting perspective. I guess there's one way to find out. We'll see how the next few weeks unfold.
Yes.
What I find interesting based on what you've said is the spot move having a lot of weight on your
Yes.
kind of
Spot is
view
the
on whether or not the move
sustainability in
is
the
real.
end, right? But spot is the sustainability. Futures can't keep buying because of the liquidation. Spot doesn't liquidate. So spot is giving actual real pressure.
And that
Agreed.
spot volume is still declining even throughout this pump
Yes.
that we've seen. Yeah,
Yes.
that's pretty eye-opening, like to me at least. Hearing that definitely makes me on board with your thoughts of going lower for sure.
Thank you. And their bumps, and their bumps, and their bumps.
And you still
in
don't
your
know how much
head.
lower. I know you said a couple days ago 50 in the 50s potentially.
Depends on how much longer they stall. The longer they stall it, the more rootless it's going to be. The longer they take for it, the more I'm convinced that we're going even lower. Yet whales are giga bullish. No, high buyers are giga bullish. But you know, the thing is, you can see it in everything, right? Live streams get less views. People are less engaged on crypto Twitter. Everything is losing traction. And why is it losing traction? Because people are losing interest. Singing Cranberry Zombies, yeah, you're right. So how that contributes to the fact that we haven't bottomed yet. Listen, the market in the end needs to attract people again, right? It can be positive and negative. Negative attention is also attention. And now crypto is not in the news. Everyone is forgetting about it.
I think that's, yeah, I've seen in my experience when it's on the news and your grandma's telling you to buy Bitcoin and asking if you hold Bitcoin and all
Bro,
this.
as soon as your taxi driver is saying, yo, have you heard about Bitcoin? Run. Run for the hills.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that
hasn't
on
been
every
a single
asset, to
spot
be honest.
order coming in. Not a single spot order. Look at the size difference. 6 million in the last minute. 7 million to 600K. It's 1 to 10.
Is that always the case though? There's always significantly more.
No.
I'm curious
Yeah,
what that
meme
would have
coin
looked
has
like
scaled a lot.
yesterday in the pump.
10 has scaled a lot. Meme coins have scaled a lot. Like the space has been absolutely annihilated. Which time frame good for trade? You have to cycle through them, man. I like to snipe entries at the 5 second. I like to be at the 5 minute time frame. And yeah, I just cycle through them.
I know you brought up Christmas time before, because Christmas time with this, if some of you aren't familiar, Chento did a crazy $1,000 to $100,000 trading challenge over like December of last year. And that was ridiculous. And he completed it. I know you went on to then turn that 100K into, correct me if I'm wrong, 380,000 or something in that range.
412.
So 412. So that was technically a 1K to 412K challenge, which is just absurd, of course. But in that time, you didn't have FlowX, which is what you have in front of you now. You also weren't using the probability indicator that you use today as well. And so
Yes.
what was different then? Because in what I could see on stream
and everything,
was
but also listen, traders have to keep developing themselves, right? And then I don't mean you have to relearn a system every 6 months, but you have to keep improving. If you want to specialize in Elliott wave, if you want to specialize in whatever the fuck you want to specialize in, I don't give a flying fuck, but you have to do it correctly. And I specialize in liquidity and order flow, right? So all I'm doing right now is building the tools, optimizing it and everything for this. So that's why we're building the tools. That's why we're putting in the effort. That's why we're hiring the people, hiring the team. And also why I only trade Bitcoin, right? You can't be world championship and boxing and chess at the same time. At least I haven't seen someone do it. So for me, I need to specialize in one thing and one thing only. That's Bitcoin. And my niche is liquidity, understanding the charts. And with my background as an ex-CEO of a crypto exchange, I know how market makers think. I know how liquidity works. I know how order flow works. I know how the grid bots works and everything. And I'm using it in my advantage for you guys.
It seemed like during that challenge, you were entering a lot of things just based on the 5-second chart, which is similar to what you're looking at right now. And
yes,
it was hard to pinpoint then what you were actually looking at. Is there anything in particular that you were then when you were looking less at the indicators that you have access to now? Was it the actual structure of the candles? Was it liquidations? Anything?
I added the liquidations for myself because of the reversals. That helps me a lot.
Because you were sniping like
So the
crazy
liquidation
then as well. Like you were hitting
yes,
hitting a crazy amount of bangers. It was cool to watch.
yeah.
Anyone, if you're interested, you should go back and watch a few of those lives because it's pretty cool to watch. There was days where I think the first day you turned 1,000 into 5,000, and then by day 3 it was at something like 27,000 or something crazy, and it just went from there. So definitely good to watch if you want to get some more alpha as well. I will say that the alpha is probably a bit better now because there's a lot more tools that you've built out.
Listen, everyone involved, and I also involved as a content creator, right?
Yeah.
That was the early days of my content journey.
Yep.
And
sure.
everyone has to learn. For me, making content is also a completely new skill. I'm still trying to master. Because personally, I think I'm still shit at it.
No, I think it's good. I think the people in this chat will attest that your streams are solid, very entertaining, and tons of alpha,
Yeah,
which is what we're here for. We want the good stuff. I do feel like we're not going to hit our limit though. $500 move up now to hit it. I'm losing hope. We will get there. It's just a matter of time. I want to see this green bar at the top of the screen smack through that 50 level. That'll be a good day. I'm telling you now, if we do that on stream, it will be a crazy one. I'll do some crazy shenanigans that may get banned on YouTube. That's all I'll say. Can we pump? You tell us more about this Rolex giveaway. That's still on my mind. What's the deal with that?
I'm buying a Rolex and I'm giving it away. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Who's it going to go to? Anyone in particular? Is there a motive behind it?
Of course not, and it wouldn't be a giveaway. No, I think I'm just gonna buy a Rolex. I'm gonna give it away.
Okay, cool. You heard it here first, people. Someone who can't tell the time. That's a good person to get that. I'm still trying to learn how to read analog clocks. I'll get there one day. I heard an interesting quote about luxury watches. Tell me if you agree. Luxury watches don't tell people the time. They tell someone how expensive your time is. What are your thoughts?
Depends on the brand. Richard Mille tells me that you're a schmuck.
You don't like Richard Milles?
No.
Definitely pretty kind of objectively ugly looking watches. Huge rubber rectangle. I do wonder. It's a pretty good example of brand building at its finest. Somehow them making those worth millions of dollars. Pretty impressive.
M's are goaded. Well, Jack, there we go. You're probably a schmuck.
Most likely. Goofy R take. RM's nice.
Bro, real men wear Audemars Piguet or Patek Philippe.
Do you collect watches or anything of the sort?
Yes.
Do you wear them or do you
Big
just
time.
do you just want them
I
to
wear them as well. I wear them
grow
as
in
well.
value? A bit of a
I wear
mix.
them as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think if you got it, you got to wear it. It's cool. Depends where you
Yeah.
are in the world, though. Maybe not in London.
No, you get you get shaved.
This price is getting stabbed more than the average tourist in London. So good.
Yeah, that was one of my highlights.
Yeah, that was freaking funny. Patek is goated. I agree. I would say Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet is equally as good. I think your two choices there are nice.
No, Patek is a different price point, man. Patek is also a different wearable group. Like, I think you have levels to the watch game. You know, a lot of people see this differently, but I think Tudor and Seiko are actually above Rolex. Why? Everyone's first expensive watch is a Rolex. So I would take an IWC over a Rolex almost any day, if they would hold their value normally. But Rolex is goaded because of their value increasement and their scarcity, you know. But 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗧, yeah, 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗧, IWC are so much more. Fuck off. 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗧 and IWC are such goated brands. I think Rolex normally is more of an introduction level watch, or the first, you know, it's a bonus watch. You know, as soon as someone gets a big bonus at KPMG, they go and buy a Rolex. And there's nothing wrong with it because everyone loves them. But if you're really into watches, there are much better options. Like the IWC ones are so the perpetual calendar.
What's your do you own your dream watch, or is there one you're looking for at the moment?
No comment.
No comment.
Look at this. Bro, look at the slickness of the design.
Pretty clean.
Bro, but this it has class. It has skill. It's a masterpiece, man. Yeah, the IWC Moonface is so goated. Yeah, exactly. That's this one. It's so good.
Do you have an IWC?
Look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fire, no doubt. Pretty fire. Real men wear Omega. I agree. I like
Look at
Omega
it.
a lot.
Look at this. Oh, man.
What are your thoughts on Omega? You like Omega?
Yeah, it's not my brand, but it's a good watch. I would buy an Omega, a Tudor, or a 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗧 over a Rolex right now. Look at how good this looks. I need to get this, man. It's such a nice watch. Look at it.
Ladies go crazy for an IWC.
Okay, you guys want to see some watches? Or you guys want to see one? Okay, pick a brand, guys.
I want to
No, I'm
see
not
a
gonna do this, by
watch.
the way. No, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, fine. All your watches
I'm
are
not
fake
gonna dox
anyway, I heard.
everything before I get. I don't know. Most of them aren't even here. They're in a vote. Patek Philippe Grand Complication. Yes, I like the simple Patek Philippe's as well. It's one of my favorites is just this one. the 𝗥𝗲𝗏. You know?
I find them pretty classy. They have aura. When I see someone wearing them, I
Bro,
think,
they have
damn,
a shit ton of aura.
they're
They
doing
have
well.
so much aura. You know what is the big issue with these? And this is going to sound pretty hilarious. Normally you can adapt the strap, right? AP you can't either because it's the shackles. But this one with the rubber strap, you have to cut it. So you need to have 2-3 straps, because if you're traveling a lot, your wrist will expand and decrease. And otherwise it's too loose or it's too tight. So this
What do you
is
mean?
not
You
a
have to
travel
cut it?
watch. You have to physically cut the band of it.
What? So do you put it on by stretching it out and you flick it over your wrist
No.
like that?
It has a clasp, but you can't adjust it.
Oh, so if your wrist is expanding, what if you're putting on weight or if you're in a different temperature or something?
Wait.
Oh, he's doing it. Let's go. That's called the Baxter manipulation bait. Asking the stupidest questions until he has to prove it live on camera. You guys are welcome. What do we think he's coming back with? I'm gonna guess it's a Patek. Bugatti watch. That's another level of.
You know
Wow.
that I walk off with my headphones on, right?
That's funny. All right, show us.
Okay. Yeah, you guessed it right, by the way. But look. So the thing is, you have to cut these bands, like physically cut them with a scissor or something, because it's non-adaptable. This is non-adaptable.
And so why would you have to cut it if your wrist gets bigger? You mean you need to buy a new strap?
Yes. If your wrist gets smaller, you need to set the strap smaller. But you can't set it smaller. You can only cut it.
To shorten it. Yeah, sorry. So if you're in the store and they size it for you, are they cutting the strap?
Yeah, they're cutting it. They're physically cutting it with scissors.
Oh, I see. Oh, we're dumping. God damn it.
It's crazy, no?
So can we see the face? What face is that? Clean. Chento. He spent today's profits on that.
How large is your watch collection? Yes.
Who votes Chento should show more of his hobbies?
No.
Yeah, I don't mean today.
Myself.
But I mean...
No, I'm not going to dox myself more than I'm already doing.
Down the track, showing what you're interested in. I think it's maybe a breath of fresh air.
I love cars. I love motorbikes. I love watches. Listen, 85% of the stuff in the world that is expensive, I probably like it. Except designer clothes.
Yeah, that's a interesting one, is designer clothes. I don't know.
Listen, I wouldn't wear them, or I sometimes wear Dior because it has the same initials.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, further than that, I don't know. It's just not worth it. Okay, I'm gonna put this back. You can yap about me, don't worry, it's not like I'm airing it.
Oh, I told you guys earlier, I've got FOMO today, and watching this dump when we were at about $100 away is unfortunate. What would we have made? So it's like a 4 Bitcoin position, 3.8 Bitcoin. 3.8. So yeah, that's about $1,000 or so we would have made. Gosh darn it. But that's okay. The way it is. We are only taking A+ setups and we're in the middle of the range, like Chento said, so it wasn't worth it, unfortunately. We'll see. We might still hit it. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys are feeling that FOMO as well. The biggest downfall of trading, feeling that FOMO and just acting on emotion, definitely doesn't end well. I'm sure if I was to enter the short here because of FOMO, we'd get a huge pump to the entry. That's just how it would work. And tell us in the chat, do you guys enjoy this series of the kind of beginner pro dynamic, elaborating on Chento's strategy and us trading together? What do you think? Because if you guys are enjoying it and liking it, we'll potentially do it some more and somehow have some continuity with this series. Not that we'd be doing it every day, but figure out some schedule where we can do it, because I think it's a lot of fun and it's an interesting dynamic. I'm learning a lot. I'm sure a lot of you guys in the chat are learning an absolute shit ton as well. The alpha here is immense, and you also get some shit talk about Australia watches and whatever else.
I missed the Great War of the Emus, man. Good old days.
Yeah, with it, these streams are probably 70% good stuff, 30% absolute random garbage, but that's the price you pay.
Yo, I heard you saying that you were feeling FOMO about a potential $1,000 win, right?
Yes.
So imagine that Bitcoin did the dirty that London has been doing for quite some time, huh? So that would have meant that London could have gone to like 72 something. So from your entry, it could have potentially gone against you 0.7%. That's
35% of
$500
5K.
move. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with your current size at 5 Bitcoin, this was a $2,500 risk, right?
Mm.
If you would have taken it here, it would have added another $800 to it. So that would have been a 3K risk. Is it 3K risk and $1,000 extra risk worth it to now make potentially, if you did everything correct, $1,200?
No, it's not.
Exactly. And that's my way of thinking. And that's what you guys in chat also need to understand. You have to think differently. It's not like, oh, I lost this. Oh, I could have won this. Oh, I could have done this. I could have done yada, 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 you know? Because that's not how the real life works. If you go to the casino and every hand of blackjack you win it, and you start with $100 or with 1K, you go from 1 to 2 to 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024. Okay, good job. You're a millionaire in 12 moves.
I did that the other day, actually.
What, become a millionaire with blackjack?
Yeah, started with 1,000, 16 doubles in a row. Millionaire. Then went for the 11th, went all in, lost it. You know how it is.
No, so it's no crying at the casino, indeed. But what you guys need to understand is it's better to protect capital, it's better to remain safe, better to remain structured, and better to make sure that you're allocating not too much money right now. Why? The market is going to give us opportunities. And if I'm right, and the market indeed comes down to our levels, the extra buying power we can potentially allocate by not losing too much money now is far greater. Let's say we're at 70K now. Let's say we go to 50, right? That's another 40% down from here. So that means 40% more buying power. So one Bitcoin becomes 1.4 Bitcoin for the same amount of money. What's more important now, making 1,000 of making sure that you have the money for that?
No, it's true. It's definitely
That's
definitely
why
the correct way to look at it.
That's why I'm taking AAA setups, right?
And it's worked thus far. So it's not like we're running a losing strategy. We're up 3x.
That's what also differentiates me from other people.
I find it interesting. Sometimes we'll come across scalpers who are in trades all day long, like in 10 plus trades all day, finding setups out of nothing. And for one, it just seems exhausting. Number two, long-term profitability would have to be tough. It seems unreasonable. The fees would also just be mental. That being said, though, I think that would be cool to watch. Everyone in here would probably be down to watch Chento do a full-blown scalping session, lock in for like 3 hours in New York Open, put the headphones on and just scalp. I would be very curious to see how that ended up, starting with 1,000.
I might do that this afternoon.
I think that would be sick to watch. If only that wasn't middle of the night for me, I would be getting involved in that. That sounds fun.
It's the liquidation heat map on CoinGlass Word anything. It's absolute garbage.
Really?
Stop loss hit plus 85%.
Can you elaborate on why 𝗕𝗟𝗡 is garbage? Because I sometimes use that myself.
It has no the liquidation heat map is different.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I use that, and I think I find it quite helpful.
It's incorrectly API pulled. And so what's the best way rather than not winning? Exactly.
What's the best way to access that liquidation data?
Sign up with my link and wait until we release the indicator. This one is more precise than the 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏 liquidation indicator. And ScalpX also live pulls everything. Look at the difference. Liquidations in 24 hours of the exchanges that we list here.
Because the numbers are pretty small, can you compare them for us?
We're reporting 41. And I know CoinGlass has more exchanges, so we're working on it. But this is the real data. Why? Because we're also pulling the real... We're APIing in every order that goes through the exchange. And I can prove it to you. Look at this. Look at how much data we're pulling.
I don't even want to know how that is coded, but that seems like a head fuck. So shout out to Chento and 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙, who I know are working on that. You guys are goats. It looks and works like a charm. I'm very excited to get my hands on that along with everyone else in the Discord. It's absolute fire. That's going to be so handy.
So you need to listen. The thing is, interpret. I come from the field of data and data engineering and everything because I had an AI startup and an AI company before I started trading, right? So I'm not a data engineer. I'm not a coder, but I know a lot about it and more than enough to control software teams. So what I can tell you is there's two things to data, right? And that's what people heavily underestimate. First thing is understanding how to get data and how to get correct data. It's the same issue that everyone has with an AI, you know? If you want to train an AI for X, Y, you cannot feed it absolute garbage constantly and then 10% of it is the right thing. That's also why AI browsers are so hard, because everyone asks them to build a fucking bomb. Even ChatGPT and OpenAI has struggled with this for such a long time because people ask it garbage things and people are actual garbage. Sorry to say. So first is the truthfulness of the data you're pulling in. Secondly is the analytics of the data. Analyzing data is not easy because you need to understand what's the actual fact they want to get out of this data. If you're looking at CoinGlass, what's the actual thing you want to understand? Is it where liquidity is or where price is most likely to go? Because if you want liquidity, just plot a liquidity map and you're good to go. But what does it tell you? Liquidations on Binance tells me something because it's the biggest exchange with one of the lowest liquidation rates. So most likely because of their 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏 and their complete suite that they build around 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏, I know where the liquidity is going to be for the rest of the exchanges as well. Matthew Perry's dealer jailed. Okay, good. Very solid feedback in the middle of my rant. So it's not about getting data, it's also about data interpretation. And that's something that people need to understand. I can give you all the data you would ever need. But if you can't interpret it or can't read it, reading the charts is more than just looking at the candlestick, right? I'm looking at what's the volume doing. Is the volume correlating? Is the CVD correlating with the volume that it's actually giving? And all these little processes and all these things, those are the strings that we try to tie together for all of you to make your trading and your life easier.
And more profitable. Easier and more profitable.
Yes.
Something I got out of that simple. As well. You were in AI before it was cool. Back when you started trading in 2019.
I've been in AI since 2018, 2017 even.
Damn. You probably missed out on the money run in the last 2 years. That probably would have printed whatever you were building back then.
Yeah, poor me for the last 3 years.
Yeah, you've been doing it rough, income-wise.
I'm about to sell courses, man.
Oh, you'd never stoop. You'd never stoop so low. You're about to sell NFTs.
Ah, fuck off. What's 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏? 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Okay. 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is the process where the exchange is doing the active market making on the exchange themselves. So it means there's no external liquidity provider. It means there's an internal liquidity provider. And for the internal liquidity providing, it means that they're trading against you.
Yeah,
and
makes
no,
sense.
that doesn't necessarily mean that 𝗲𝗏𝗡, the goes are here. Why do you say it as if it's multiple? Are you schizophrenic? But yeah, so the self liquidity providing and the self market making, it's not that they're coming for your stop loss or coming for your order or shit like that, but they might delay certain moves. They might show a slightly different behavior that I've proven on live streams before, that the latency is a bit higher, the delay is a bit higher, etc., etc., etc. You're not the only go. No, indeed, you have Baxter.
Oh, I was waiting for that.
I lined that up perfectly.
Yeah, I could feel it. Yeah, I think 𝗕𝗏𝗡, I know you're working on an educational series, Chentology, 𝗕𝗏𝗡 and how the exchanges
Yes.
F you over would definitely be a valuable episode. I would 100% shoot into that.
The thing is, it's not that they're actively fucking you over, right? It's not that they, oh, there's a stop loss, I'm going to that stop loss. They might overshoot it by a couple of bucks if the market is on its way there. But it's not that the market maker is sitting there just taking your entry out of the market. It's not how it works. At least not for us anons, you know? Even not for me. But they might just delay it a slight bit of moving out again. They might increase the spread to the mean a little bit, you know, just try to scare you out of your position. They might have a bit more spread on closing the position. So it's all little dirty tricks or a little bit of latency here and a little sprinkle of fairy dust there to slightly put you at unease while you could have been more at ease. Love that move. I didn't expect them to pressure it through on the 5 second, to be honest. They're not pressuring anything yet, but we'll see.
I guess for now, we'll keep that order sitting there in case the unthinkable happens and we get a $500 pump or $600 pump. But I know you mentioned cutting that before New York, just in case New York pulls some crazy stuff.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Guys, 500 beautiful people in here. I feel like I could stream a bit longer, man. Like another 20, 25 minutes. If everyone here likes it and if everyone presses the like button. Otherwise, I'm not going to be bothered.
Smash the likes, people.
Shouting, dude. I'm not shouting, man.
It's good to hear you guys are learning a lot. I know I'm learning a lot as well. We're getting some seriously good alpha in these streams. It's a lot of fun. I know we've probably talked about this before, but what was the main motivator for you coming out of the shadows as well? Because I know you've obviously been making an extremely high income for the last year's trading on your own. Was it just the boredom of it? I know the loneliness of it.
No, it's
something for you
it
as well.
partially is the loneliness, to be honest, because trading there by yourself is just by yourself, and I like to build successful stuff with other people, and I like to give back. Also, that's why I'm doing so many giveaways, etc., etc.
Rolex giveaway.
So yeah, it was the loneliness and wanting to be part of a community, part of a group, and part of, you know, more than just that. Secondly, I think too many lobs and too many fake motherfuckers are making too much money. How many do you see live trading? How many do you see actually showing that they have the money or made the money or just pretending on it? You know, I see a lot of big influencers that used to be the kings of the previous cycle sitting there lopping and just doing trash. I felt the need that if this industry has to become what everyone thinks this industry can become, that we definitely had a lot of steps and a lot of paces to go through in order to be at that point. And I wanted to provide my contribution to that point. Hey, living like without renegades.
Your live trading is so rare. Obviously, there's a few people who do it. I know I can think of a few who do it, but not to your size. I oftentimes see live traders trading with a less than $10,000 account, knowing full well they make the income off their education to afford much more than that. So it's interesting to see that they'll trade with such little funds, knowing that they've got access to significantly more. It's interesting. Whereas you're trading with millions of dollars because you can, and you're still showcasing that. So that's the biggest thing.
It's not just about showcasing it. And listen, for me, a good trader doesn't have to be a millionaire or filthy fucking rich, you know? All I want is, and it's not about the losses either. I don't care about. Listen, people that come to ScalpX and want to be a caller or want to be a trader, I only ask them one thing. And that's one thing that's the most important for me in trading. I give them a trade that is in a drawdown. So I tell them, okay, log into this account and I just completely fuck up half of the account, you know? So I put in, let's say, 5K and the account is down 3K and I tell them, okay, what are we going to do here? The people that hold that trade immediately fall off the wagon. Why? Because in the end, risk management is the most important thing. Risk management, control, and portfolio protection. These are the only thing that matters. Why? Everyone's going to be wrong. Every system is going to be wrong. You're right until proven otherwise, and you're wrong until proven otherwise. So the psychological aspect, that's the most important thing. And I want to see how people handle when shit is going against them. Sorry. I want to see how people handle it when they're not in control, when the market is in control, when the market is doing something unexpected. Not respecting their stop loss, pumping through a level that was not expected to pump through. Seeing how they handle drawdown. If people disappear when they're wrong or stop making excuses. Like, listen, I had periods in, even publicly in the Discord, where I was, you could better counter trade me than trade with me, man. I wasn't hitting anything. But my risk was always managed. And then it doesn't matter. If you manage your risk, well, shit happens, you know? You win some, you lose some. And in the end, I only need one win every 3 trades, even though my win rate is above 80%. But that's what differentiates gamblers from traders.
I can finish this
when
one.
Things are not going against them.
Yeah. I can finish this quote.
Yeah.
Traders look at how much they can lose. Gamblers look at how much they can win. That's a banger. That's a Chento classified banger.
Exactly.
That's a really good way to look at it. That was
legitimately the case.
Yeah, no, it's a really good way to look at it, genuinely. For sure.
𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙𝗙𝗂𝗏, yes. So that's, for me, everyone has a plan. If I win 1 out of 3 trades and this and the right risk management, I 1 to 3 RR, yada, 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 yada. Everyone can do the calculations that they will be a millionaire in XYZ time, and the plan never goes that way. So I want to see how people handle the opposite side. Plan for the worst, and it can only go well, right? And assumptions is the mother of all fuck-ups. So, and that's what I think differentiates me from most of the traders.
So if you're risking, I know you say max risk 2% of port, so you would have effectively had to lose 50 trades in a row to fuck up.
No, it's 2% of port.
So what's the math on that?
After the first loss, I only have 98% left. So 2% of 98%. And then I have 96%. So
it actually can never reach zero. It can never reach zero.
Theoretically not. Like, don't get me wrong, the hole gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
But you can survive that pretty fucking long.
I think it's just the discipline of actually sticking to it, because I know you had a period of revenge trading yourself, like you lose and you double up the next one.
But the difference was I always, oh, hello.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
I always traded with a decent amount of money. And that's what people shouldn't forget, right? If you try to make money with $100 and try to live off of it, forget it. If you try to make or try to live off of anything less than 50 to 100K, forget it. And people have to be that realistic as well, but people aren't. How can you provide for a family or for yourself or have a healthy life with making more than 10% on portfolio a month? Isn't it a bit insanely arrogant to assume from yourself that you're outperforming the best hedge funds in the world? Because you have a mobile phone, a dream, and a whole lot of opium.
Harsh reality, but very true.
So TCI Fund Management, 30%, Bridgewater Associations, 34%, right? And they have 70 billion under management and are globally seen as the best hedge funds. Right? And if you have 50K in your account and you do the same thing, you make 16 to 18K a year. That's a very, very healthy return. But that's not enough to live off.
Mm.
So you assume that you're going to do significantly better than multi-billion dollar companies.
True. Sometimes you just got to break it down in that simple way, because yeah, that's very true. Also, I can't help but notice we're sitting on a dwell block right now.
Yep.
Which is very interesting.
And he's sitting on it, which is annoying. It took a seat. And as you can see, the accelerated EMAs are compressing as well.
So that means it's a coin flip, right? If they're compressing, because it could push up or push down.
Yep.
Plus, combined with
the 1 and
being
the
on a
5 minutes are flipping. The 1 and the 5 are flipping bearish. So yeah.
So entering here would just be a stupid coin flip, effectively.
Yeah.
I think this challenge has helped me personally in sitting on my hands more and not taking every trade, because not that I ever was too crazy with it, but you definitely, like today, I was feeling that temptation of just entering something for the sake of it, and not doing that has saved us a ton of money. So it's definitely the move. Just takes some real discipline. You just can't lie to yourself and stick to the plan. It's not easy though.
Again, you've made 10K in the last 2 weeks trading with managed risk and 5K already set to the side.
Pretty freaking good.
I don't really see the issue.
Yeah, no, agreed.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, it's definitely working.
Stick to the plan, guys. That's it. Stick to the plan, stick to the plan, stick to the plan, and have patience. Listen, this market doesn't have to do anything because we're telling it. This market doesn't have to do shit. I see people saying, oh, it has to go up. No, bitch, doesn't. It has to go down. No, again, it doesn't. This market does whatever it wants with different forces, different power, and different liquidity cycles than we have ever seen in any traditional asset class. So calm down, Karen. Sit down and enjoy the ride and hopefully try to profit off of it.
Something I'm curious about with the fact that liquidations is such a driver for you with Bitcoin, and now there's all these tokenized stocks coming out to crypto exchanges. I know 𝗕𝗏𝗡 themselves are offering Tesla and a few other big ones. And so liquidations is going to start to come in as a kind of data point for trading the big stocks, which I find very interesting because they have a shit ton of volume. So who knows, in a year's time when that's more normalized and there's way more people leverage trading stocks, that could be something you could dabble into. I'd be curious to watch.
I'm the only influencer almost that's calling. It's about liquidations. It's about money flow. It's about liquidations. It's about money flow. Check the CVD. Check the CVD. Check the CVD. How many people do we see now all of a sudden on X checking CVD?
And that's what worries me a little bit is all your edge going to dissipate with all the other random people on X starting to now share the source?
Oh, yes, 100%. 100% they're going to take my edge. And then they update the algorithms. I redo my system. My edge is that I'm adaptive. My edge is that my system evolves when the markets evolve. As soon as I pick up something new, and I typed it out today for the people that haven't seen it. This is what is currently happening in the market. Save this, bookmark this, and make sure that you fucking study it. Why? Because I keep updating if the market updates. And that's my power. I don't care what the market is going to do. I will figure it out. I have enough experience. I've done it. I've seen it. I've been there. I've done that. So every time that the market will update itself and the algorithms will update itself and there's new things coded. And yeah, in May, there is going to be a new update. Why? There are 4 global holidays. It's a Christmas holiday. It's the May break. It's the global holiday in the spring where all of Europe is off. and then we have the September one where the US is off. These 4 are the only global holidays that everyone is involved in. And almost every market, the stock market and every institution is closed as well, except crypto. So when do you guys think they're going to update the algorithms? At these 4 points. So we get a December update, we get a May update, we get a June, July update, we get an August update. These are the updates. And in the summer, they update twice.
And are they updating before those periods? Because that's when all the volume comes through and they can liquidate the most.
It's not about the volume. It's not about the liquidations. Liquidations is a fundamental thing that changed within the market with internal market making and without the legislative laws that they're enforcing on crypto. We have 2 things to understand. We need to understand what's the pattern and what's the actual play that the market maker is doing and what is fundamentally driving it for the market makers. Those are the 2 most important things currently. And they will always remain to be. If you don't understand why they're doing X, Y, Z, or what's the benefit for them to do X, Y, Z, how are you supposed to trade? People focus way too much on TA and not enough on understanding the actual market and the game of liquidity and understanding how that an exchange actually works. People are putting their whole life savings, their money and everything in it, and they have no fucking clue about the product they're putting in 50, 100K or whatever. That to me is absolutely ridiculed.
You're hearing it here first,
So
people.
I'd say let that sink in, guys. But I got to stream again in 1 hour and 20 minutes. So I'm going to relax for a bit because we've been on for 2 hours.
All right, let's jump and
So
let
guys,
you relax.
Join the free community. The link is up top. Join me in the trading competition with 𝗏𝗏𝗏. Everything I do is for free. The community is free. The tools are free. And if you want to get a chance to using the tools, make sure to use 𝗏𝗏𝗏. And if you have a trading port more than 50K, send me a DM on Discord and you are eligible for joining the inner circle.
And like I said at the start, if anyone's running a poly market on which 𝗏𝗏𝗏 trading competition team is going to win, put the money on Chento. Not financial advice, but I see that one going his
Bro,
way.
they're all aiming for second place.
Yeah, I see this one going your way. I know I'll definitely be part of that team. And hopefully see you guys in the Discord. If anything changes with this 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's account, I'll be posting in the general chat on the Discord. You guys will see me in there. So
for now, I'm keeping the limit still.
All right, keeping that limit.
Yes.
And yeah, join the Discord for the updates on that. And we will see you, I believe, tomorrow for another stream. Is that right?
Yeah. Think so.
All right. Well, as of now, we'll see you tomorrow for another 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Chento will be back in 1 hour. See you guys later. Peace.
On my own channel, by the way. Thank you very much, guys.
On Chento Trades.